I've got 4 steps to remove almost every single ad built into Google TV. Tech it before you wreck it. What's up, geeks? I'm Kirk. Have you ever noticed that about 50% of the main screen on Google TV is an advertisement? We're gonna wipe that out entirely. And make sure you stick around to step 4, because I'm gonna show you how to reprogram those little buttons on your remote with the app icons. So the buttons will do what you want them to do, not what the remote wants them to do. Step 1, we want to install the app called the ProjectIvy Launcher. Now, what this does is it replaces what you see on your screen right now. This is the default Google TV launcher. This will replace it with a new launcher that's very similar, but more customizable and doesn't have any of these advertisements built in, which is exactly what we want. The good thing is we can get this launcher without having to sideload it or do any sort of special access. Let me show you how. When you're on the home page, simply click over to the section that says Apps and now go down to the search bar and type in ProjectIvy. Heads up, it's not spelled like it sounds. It's actually spelled like ProjectIvy with no spaces. You can see it right there. Make sure you type that in correctly when you're searching for it. And what you're looking for is this orange square icon with the orange projector, ProjectIvy Launcher. This is the one you want, so make sure you install the right one, because otherwise this won't work. So let's click on that and then we'll select Install, and it should install this onto our Google TV box. Okay, once it's installed, all we have to do is open it, but I'm gonna walk you through the process of actually enabling the proper settings so that this can work as your launcher, because if you don't enable these proper settings, it won't actually replace your launcher. So let's jump in, let's open it up. And it jumps up with this. ProjectIvy Launcher is a launcher tailored for your TVs and projectors needs, smooth, neat, customizable, and bundled with unique features. That is exactly what we want. So let's click next. It breaks down some of the features. They call them your new superpowers. And this screen says, let's get accessible. And this is important. This is what I'm talking about. You've got to activate the accessibility service in order for this to work. Otherwise, it won't be able to operate as your launcher. I'm going to walk you through all of that, so just stay with me. Step 2. Now that we've got the app installed, we need to enable the proper permissions in order for ProjectIvy to operate and function correctly, essentially replacing the existing Google TV launcher. Speaking of which, when I hit next, the first thing it does is ask me for access to my TV listings. Of course, I will allow that. It's also asking for access in special permissions. I will say yes. And it's asking for notification access. So let's click down, turn that on, and then hit the back button. And now it's asking for anonymous usage and crash reporting. We will hit yes on that as well. And now it says time to start. Let's hit get started. Okay, here we are, guys. This is ProjectIvy, and it takes us right into the screen, but notice on the bottom, there's this. Consider enabling ProjectIvy's launcher's accessibility service to unleash its full potential. Now, we have to do that. It disappeared, but I'm gonna show you exactly how to get to that setting, because without that setting, you can't actually replace your Google TV launcher. So let me show you. So from the top, you wanna go down just to the second bar here and go over to where it says ProjectIvy Launcher Settings. Click on that. It should bring up this bar on the side. We're going to go down to where it says Accessibility Service. We'll click on that, and now we want to select Show Accessibility Settings. It's going to ask us, are you sure you want to do this? I will say yes, we want to show these settings. Now, go down all the way to the bottom of this menu, and you should have an option that says ProjectIvy Launcher. We'll click that, and now we simply want to enable this setting, allowing the ProjectIvy Launcher to have these accessibility settings. And it's warning you that it can now collect all of the text you type, except passwords, of course, but this does include personal data such as credit card numbers. Now, if this was an app that you didn't know anything about, you might be a little bit wary, but because we know the developer, we know exactly what's going on here, we know a lot of people love this app, we're gonna go ahead and hit OK. There's one more step to allow the proper settings for this to work. We're gonna go back into the ProjectIvy Launcher settings menu because it's also inside here. This time we're gonna select General here, the first option in the menu, and when we go down, we should have an option, the third option down, that says Override Current Launcher. We want to select that and turn that on. Just to recap, we've now enabled accessibility services and we've turned on the Override Current Launcher option. So what that's done is it means now that when I hit the home button on my remote control, instead of going back to the main Google TV launcher, it's going to go to this launcher, the ProjectIvy Launcher, which is exactly what we want. So step 3 is to customize the launcher to look and feel the way you want it to. So by default, it is very much simplified. As I said, you see there's no ads at the top. There's there's basically just a background, kind of like a wallpaper, which you can customize. We'll do that first. So you go up to the top and you'll see this little gear icon in the upper right-hand corner. That is your settings icon. And now we can go to ProjectIvy Launcher settings and we'll click on that. And now we go to appearance, and then we'll go down to where it says wallpaper. And this allows us to pick a different wallpaper. So you could select a different launcher wallpaper. Do you want the Reddit wallpaper, which it's pulling from some sort of Reddit photo feed? You can do dynamic colors, the default wallpaper, and then there's some additional wallpaper options that you can use if you pay for the premium version. So I'm gonna leave it at the Reddit option because I like the photos that it's putting back there, and I'll leave that. Okay, let's hit the home button and go back to the main screen. So now that we've got a wallpaper set up the way we want it to, we've got all these different bars. And this is sort of similar to what you've used before with Google TV, but the difference is these are customizable bars. So for example, in the TV apps bar, we have our normal TV apps that we'd expect. But if we keep going to the left and we go one step more, we have a couple of different options here. So you can see that you've got a little settings icon there right to the left of our apps bar. If I click on that, now we get the option to change this bar. In fact, we can make it invisible if we want to turn that off. That wouldn't make a lot of sense because we need this bar. It's got all of our apps, so I'll leave that there. But I can change it to a grid if I'd like more of a grid-like look as opposed to that kind of bar that goes left to right. I can change how many cards I see per row, which is kind of cool, allows some customization there. I can change the size of these icons to make them smaller or bigger to decide how many of these app icons you want to have on your home screen. I'm going to leave it at small. You can change the way they're sorted. If you want it to be sorted by the most recently used app, which might make a lot of sense, it can do that. Or you can sort it a variety of different ways. In fact, you can even go down to the bottom and go to manage apps and say, you know what? I don't want Hulu in here. I don't want Instagram in here. I'm not going to use Instagram on my TV, and filter out the apps that you still want installed, or maybe you can't remove them from your Google TV box, but you don't want to see them here in your launcher. So you can truly customize this individual ribbon. What's cool is you can decide which ribbons actually get displayed. So this third one down right here is some sort of settings ribbon. I'm going to go to the left, go to the settings icon again, and it looks like it's a display option. I don't really need that because I have a Google TV box that's separate from my TV. I'm going to turn this off, and it removes that option entirely. In fact, watch this. I can clean the whole thing up. Remember, I can access all these settings in a different way. I'm going to remove all of these different ribbons here because I don't want any of them to be visible, and I just want a clean, simple home screen. I don't even want to see the settings ribbon because I know I can get to that a different way. So now when I come to my home screen, this is what I get. A very simple, basic home screen. This is why ProjectIvy is so awesome, because not only can you remove the ads, but you can really clean up and customize your Google TV home screen to exactly what you want. Maybe you only use 4 apps. Maybe you're setting this up for somebody who isn't super computer or TV box literate, and you want it to be simple for them. You can set this up so there's literally 4 apps on a bar, nothing more, nothing less. I know what a lot of people say. They like some of those suggestion ribbons on Google TV. I do too, specifically the YouTube ribbon. I discover a lot of YouTube content that way. So let me show you how you can still access that. So if I go to the upper right hand corner, go to that little settings icon next to the clock again, I have an option, third one down, that says edit channels. I'm gonna select that, and you'll notice for the apps that I have installed, there are some channels I can actually activate. So for example, Netflix. Maybe I like the Netflix suggestions. I can turn that on, and now I've got those Netflix suggestions right there, which is cool. You've got the power to turn it on, turn it off. If I go down to YouTube, check this out. You actually have 4 different versions that you can turn on. You've got recommended for you, which would be kind of your homepage on YouTube. You've got trending videos, YouTube music, and then free movies on YouTube. I don't need to see the free movies on YouTube. I don't use YouTube music, but I definitely like the recommended for you because that's going to be based off the things that I've watched. So I'm going to turn that on. I got to go back and make sure that I turn that on to make that visible. And now you can see if I go back to my home screen, I've got my TV app section. I've got that YouTube section now that shows the videos that are recommended for me. And then I've got that Netflix bar that I also activated as well. This is why it's so powerful. It's truly customizable. You can set up the stuff that you want and get rid of the stuff that you don't want. ProjectIvy is awesome, but this is step 4, and this involves these little buttons on the bottom of your remote that have icons on them. I'm sure you have these on your Google TV remote. They say Netflix, Paramount, YouTube, Disney Plus, whatever, and they are essentially paid advertisements on your remote. If you use them, great, but most of us don't, and I'm gonna show you how to make these buttons do something else. Watch this. Okay, so what we want to do is go back over to the Google Play Store. You can see that icon right there on my screen, and we want to search for something called Button Mapper. Okay, the icon's going to look like this. It's called Button Mapper Remap Your Keys. We're going to install this app onto our Google TV box. Open up this app, and I'll show you exactly how to remap those buttons so that they don't go to Netflix, they go to whatever you want it to go to. First thing is you'll get this message. Please go to System Settings, Accessibility, and enable the Button Mapper Accessibility Service. Now, this is just like with ProjectIvy. The way it's doing this, the way it's operating is by using the accessibility option to reroute these buttons. So let's hit OK. It should jump us over into our settings menu. We want to go down to accessibility. We'll click over, and now we'll go down and look for Button Mapper. We should see ProjectIvy, which we've already activated, and now we've got a new one that says Button Mapper. Same thing. We're going to enable this option. It's going to ask us, are you sure you want to do this? I'm going to hit OK, and now that option is activated. So I'm back in the Button Mapper menu here. Jump me back in there automatically. We don't want to mess with volume up and volume down, that's for sure. What we want to do is add buttons. So select Add Buttons, and it's saying be careful. Remapping certain buttons could make navigation difficult. If you get stuck, attach a USB mouse to your Android TV box to undo the changes. We're not going to let that happen. Be very careful here. Follow along. So I'll go down to Add Buttons, and it's saying which button do you want to add? Okay, so now I've got these little buttons at the bottom. I've got YouTube, I've got Netflix. I'll leave those. Those are useful to me, but I don't use Disney Plus. So I'm going to click the Disney Plus button, and now it says, oh, button 9. Okay, so button 9 is the Disney Plus button. So now I want to go down and select the button that I just added, right? So I'll select that with the remote, and now I've got this screen. I want to customize this button, and you can select what you want it to do when it single taps the button, double taps, or even when you hold the button down. I'm only going to do single tap right now, but you can mess around and have it do different functions based on how you click or tap that button. Let's click single tap, and look at this. Now it gives us a whole list of different things we can shortcut to on our Google TV box. Now, this is an app that also works with Android phones. Some of these might not make sense. For example, you see toggle flashlight. That doesn't make any sense. But you can skip past that and just look at all the different options. If you go all the way to the top of this menu, it's a little drop-down option, and you can click that down arrow, and it'll give you these different options. So, for example, if I hit Applications, it now shows me all my different apps. So let's say I want that Disney Plus button to actually go right into the Google Play Store. Notice it changed the icon, and now it's saying, yes, this button's been reprogrammed to the Google Play Store. So I'll hit home, I'll go back to my home screen. Now, if I hit that Disney Plus button, watch what happens. Instead of going to Disney Plus, it takes me right into the Google Play Store. You can see, you can imagine how useful this could be to take those silly buttons that you never use and actually make them somewhat useful so they launch apps and features that you want them to launch, as opposed to the apps that Google TV or your manufacturer thinks they should launch. If you found this video useful, do me a huge favor and subscribe to my channel. It helps me grow here on YouTube, and it also helps you see my new videos. I've got a lot more cool stuff coming your way. And comment below, because I want to know which of these tips did you find the most useful. Are you going to try out ProjectIvy? Are you going to reprogram those buttons on your remote? I think it's all cool stuff and all super useful if you're a Google TV user like myself. In the meantime, check out some of my other smart TV videos when it comes to Google TV, Roku. I've got a playlist right here for you guys to check out. Tech it before you wreck it. I'm Kirk.